Hello and welcome to Ripper's Rambles number 76. Today's topic comes from one of my fabulous irregulars. I say my, which is a little like kind of creepy possessive, but I kind of think of them/you that way. But anyway, one of the irregulars brought up this, I think it was Ashley, I'm making that up, brought up, I'm not making it up, we actually interacted and I'm relatively sure, but I could also be wrong. So, grain of salt, because, with my brain, I just don't know. But if it is Ashley, at least I'm relatively confident I'm pronouncing the name correctly, unlike sometimes when I get really confused. I have just rambled about nothing. I haven't even gotten to the topic yet. We're already a minute in. In any event, I think Ashley asked about sort of the way that I interpreted the question, and this could not necessarily be correct, was about separating myself from a story, and if that happens, and under what circumstances that would happen, and sort of how that goes down. Not a story that's published, but kind of abandoning a story that is not published. So, interestingly, yesterday I finished a story called A Pauper in California, which I started a year and a half ago. And it's 20,000 words. Like, it doesn't take me a year and a half to write, long novels. But this 20,000 word story took me forever. And part of that was because of the story itself and because of the characters in it. One of the themes of this, and it's SMU crossover with The Ghost in the Penthouse. So if you've read The Ghost in the Penthouse, you will be familiar with the Manderley lads and their contentious relationship with their sort of violent, abusive father. So I wrote that, and it made sense at the time. And then I started this particular story, A Pauper in California, and realized that it was going to be the showdown between James, the oldest, and his father, with his brother, his younger brother, used sort of as a pawn. And I really didn't understand that was going to be what happened. I thought it was going to be sort of a lighthearted Hiram and Hugh meet again years later and, enjoy that they've grown up and, that was that. And that's really not what I set out to write. This happens sometimes. You think on one level of your brain that you're writing a certain thing, and some other level of your brain is doing a totally different thing. And sometimes you realize it as you're writing, hopefully. Sometimes you realize it in revisions, and sometimes you realize it years later when you read something you've written and you go, oh, well, my subconscious was doing a thing there. This I realized as I was writing because I wrote up to the scene, the big showdown scene, and I didn't write it quickly. This is not, I write relatively quickly, and this probably took me 2 months to write, those 10,000 words, picking away at it. I wrote up to that scene and really simply could not write that scene. Just couldn't write it. The words weren't there. I even, usually when I can't write a scene, it's because I'm not really sure what should happen, and I don't know how it's going to go, and I can't block it out in my head. And I knew exactly what was going to happen in the scene. I just couldn't fucking force the words to come. For reasons that I will simply say are probably too personal to go into, but I just could not write this scene where this grown-up faces down his violent father for the last time and resolves that. Like, I just couldn't do it. So I tried everything because I really liked this story, and I like Hugh in anything and writing him, and I really enjoy Hiram Sussman, so it was all things that I really like. An exploration of family and family of origin versus chosen family and all of that stuff that I get off on, and I couldn't fucking do it. So I even skipped the scene and like tried to continue writing to the end and thought, oh, I'll come back later and finish it. I couldn't do that either. Like I wrote a couple hundred words and stalled out utterly. So I abandoned that shit form. I mean, the irregulars could probably tell you. I think it's been well over a year since the last time I worked on it. Because I had to, and I don't really believe in that in a general sense. I don't. There are magical things about writing. For me, none of them come down to, I can only write when I'm inspired, or I get blocked, or, I need the right environment. None of those are true for me. Like I can write on a hillside in a notebook with a pencil. I fucking hate pencils. Like I just will write under any circumstance. And I couldn't make this fucking story happen. Couldn't do it. Knew it was going to happen, couldn't fucking do it. So I thought of that as I was contemplating Ashley's question because for a significant chunk of time I thought this story would never get done. And then I put it on a Patreon poll and it sort of won. So, we're back to the like levels of the brain all doing something, and you're not always they're not always in agreement. So, I fucking finished the story, and it's, I have finished novels that I was less relieved to be done with. And I think it's a decent story, like it's fine, it's just, it was grueling, it was goddamn agony. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if that really addresses the question, but sometimes I walk away from stuff, and not in a walk away like get healthy space and I'm gonna come back to it and do it right later, but just walk away as in like I need to fucking get away from this story because it's taking me places in my head I don't want to be. So I have no idea. That is a topic. I rambled on a topic, and Ashley can tell me later if this was the actual intended topic. But there's your ramble. There's your ramble for today. There you have that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will ramble at you some more next time. Bye.